Hi guys, today is March 6, 2020, and before we jump into discussing stocks, I'd like to mention that we just crossed 500 subscribers, and I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who is subscribed, who is watching my videos, who's writing me comments, suggestions, and encouraging me. I really appreciate it. It helps me a lot and gives me motivation to go above and beyond in my research. And by the way, those of you who is interested in details or in depth of my trades, you can check out my Patreon link in the description. So let's jump into discussing the market. As I mentioned, futures again are down a lot, and on the renewed fears of coronavirus. Actually, the US, there was a report, unemployment report or employment report, that the US added 273,000 jobs versus 175,000 jobs in February, and everybody seems to forget about that, and so everybody is possessed with coronavirus fears and everything else. So let's jump into stocks. Let's start with S&P 500. S&P 500 is trading lower, and on the chart, I was mentioning before in my previous videos that I am watching to 285 level for SPY. Okay, so right now it's trading at 293, and I'm watching 285 level for SPY. So let's see if it breach this level, or if it can hold this level. If S&P 500 can hold this level, that would be good news, and I think it would be a signal to buy, overall buy on the market to me. But let's see if it holds here. Okay, so in corporate news, other news is, let's start with AMD. AMD actually had an investor day yesterday, and they have said that they will have a modest effect on from a coronavirus on their sales, and they actually reiterated full year forecast for their sales and revenue, and also it was a very positive day. And also they said that they're working on a lot of products. They will be coming out with a ton of products, and Lisa Su said that they will year over year sustain a 20% growth. So that was really good news for AMD, and stock is trading higher, and I think it's a pretty good pickup in my opinion. I mean, all of this on the strengths of data centers and NAND and DRAM memory prices for big data centers. Okay, so I also like, of course, NVidia on this sell-off, and AMAT, MU, all these companies will do pretty well in this. Actually, it will have a hit from the coronavirus, but in general they will do well. So it's a really good pickup on this sell-off. Also, I'm going to add to the list Ciena, who reported really good earnings yesterday. CIEN. Maybe you can get this stock lower, and Marvell, MRVL, also reported pretty good numbers, and Skyworks Solutions, SWKS, was upgraded yesterday, and it's dropping a lot today, and could be a pretty good pickup. Okay, so in defensive stocks that I like is actually on this coronavirus outbreak is Zynga. Okay, symbol ZNGA. Okay, so it's a gaming company, and it's a stay-at-home stock. And Zoom Video again, of course. Zoom Video was opened lower yesterday, but then gained momentum in the mid of the day, and actually closed higher, and it's opening higher today. It's a little bit high to me, to tell you the truth. I'd like it to drop a little bit before I jump into the stock, but in general it's a good stock to watch. Okay, so Tesla also had actually pretty good news. Tesla said that they have received approval from Chinese government for long-range Model 3 cars to produce, and I mean the stock is trading lower. I mean they had pretty bad news yesterday, because they said that some consumers came up and said that Tesla put older chip in the in their Model 3 that they sold in China. That was a reputation hit to me for Tesla. Okay, but in general, 688 area, it's a little bit tight for me to buy Tesla here. Okay, and I'm a shareholder, I have to reiterate. But as a new position, I wouldn't buy it here. Okay, so Costco reported pretty good numbers reported. Really good outlook, and they're saying the store sales are up 6% because people are pretty much cleaning the shelves in light of this coronavirus outbreak, and I think it could be a defensive play here for Costco. I actually think it's a pretty good buy on a drop. And as you can see, Magda is about to cross here, and MACD. Okay, so, and it's not overbought. I think it's in pretty good shape. I would buy Costco on this drop. Okay, so speaking of defensive plays, Moderna is trading a little bit lower. Moderna is pretty much a coronavirus defensive play. They're developing a vaccine for coronavirus besides other things that they have in the pipeline, and I think it's a pretty good buy in the 27 area. Okay, INO also is the coronavirus developing vaccine company at this point, besides other things, of course, but right now everybody is focused on coronavirus, and this is being treated as a coronavirus company. So that stock is higher. I actually sold half of my position at $9.05, and I still have half, but I wouldn't establish a new position here because I think it's too high here. At 10, it's opening at $10.60. It's a little bit too high for me. Okay, so JinkoSolar, it's a Chinese solar panel manufacturer, and stock symbol JKS. They have raised the fourth quarter guidance and the full year outlook, and actually all these solar companies are in pretty good shape because a while ago they fought off the tariffs, so they're not paying any tariffs to ship into the United States, for example, from China, and these companies are in pretty good shape, but they will be lower today because oil is lower significantly, and that reflects on the solar company. They lower the oil, people sell solar companies, so it could be a good pickup in my opinion. And considering that one of the JinkoSolar chairmen yesterday reported picking up 200,000 shares of JinkoSolar yesterday. So not a bad pickup. Also, like in the solar business, CSIQ that will be down today probably. It could be a pretty good pickup, and I like SEDG, SolarEdge. That's a really good pickup also in 120s, and SunPower, SPWR. Okay, so these four companies in solar industry I like. Actually, it could be a defensive play in this coronavirus outbreak. Okay, so I think that could be a good buy on on this sell-off. Okay, so Lyft was upgraded by Needham. Actually, I initiated coverage by Needham, and it's still trading lower, but it was initiated and was price target of $48 was the buy rating. Okay, so I think, in my opinion, Lyft is less exposed than Uber to have less international exposure than Uber. So Lyft at these prices, they're like $35. I think it's a pretty decent buy in here. Okay, also CMG was upgraded, Chipotle Mexican Grill, but I'm not buying Chipotle. It's a little bit high to me. In light of this coronavirus outbreak, even though it came down a lot and it's trading a lot higher, very low, but in this outbreak, in this sell-off, I'm not a buyer of CMG. Okay, Okta also reported earnings. Okta reported pretty good earnings. It's an identity management company, and they're trading a little bit higher, but they may drop a little bit, so that could be a good pickup as well. Starbucks actually said that their sales in China will be cut 50%, and they're closing stores in China, laying off employees and not opening new stores. Was downgraded, so I think Starbucks is going lower. SBUX and GPX, it's a gap. They reported a change of the CEO, and GPS, I'm sorry, GPS. They reported a change of the CEO, gap, and this stock is trading very low, and maybe it's not a bad idea to buy this. In general, I think it's a good time to sell puts, out of money puts, because the premium for those puts are huge right now, and this is a really good time to, instead of buying shares, I would suggest selling out of money puts. For example, companies like American Airlines is opening at $15.10, but like 11th or 10th put, March, that expires in 2 weeks, is selling for like 40-45 cents, and that's a really good price. I think that's what I'm gonna do maybe today in some companies, to sell puts in this environment. Okay guys, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and I'll see you Monday.